Okay, so you may have left the toxic relationship, and then a little while later, you meet someone who is actually kind. They're stable, they're emotionally available. But somehow you start getting feelings like, why does this feel different? You start getting thoughts like, this is kind of boring. It's kind of, it's kind of weird. Well, what you need to realize is that when your emotions has been conditioned by chaos, then peace can feel extremely unfamiliar. And once you understand why that happens, I promise you, you will never look at relationships the same way. But like most people, you probably believe that your relationship struggles are because you chose the wrong person. But actually, the real issue is hey, welcome to Family Success Solutions. I am Coach Will Lane, and as one who is in the business of healing families, I am so excited to welcome you to join in this journey with us. This world, this culture, society needs healthy families, and healthy families begin with healthy relationships. So I invite you to take this journey with us. Share, like, subscribe, because we believe that it's going to truly be impactful to you. And I know with all my heart, you'll also know someone who can benefit from this video. Again, I'm so glad you joined today because today's topic is a doozy, y'all. Today's topic is something that you experience. I know you do because I've been there. And I want you to buckle up, get ready, tune in, allow your mind to be renewed because your healing is mind renewal away. So on that note, I need you to do something. Think about your past relationships for a moment. You may have experienced something that sounds a lot like this. In the beginning, the connection was strong. It felt electric, intense emotions. But over time, some shifts started to happen in the relationship. It became unstable. It became more drama than that feeling of peace and stability. And in the midst of that drama, the turmoil, in the midst of the instability, you found yourself working harder to make things work. And then suddenly, that chapter closed. But then you met someone else. You met someone new, someone fresh, someone who was kind, someone who was consistent. They were thoughtful. They were emotionally present with you, emotionally engaged with you. And your time with them was filled with the feelings of peace, calmness, a feeling of everything is okay. Oh, but then you started getting thoughts like, why doesn't this feel as exciting as my past relationships? Why does this actually feel a little meh, or it feels a little boring? So catch this. Your brain doesn't necessarily recognize things that are good for you or the things that are healthy for you. No, your brain is designed to recognize patterns that are familiar. Let me explain. So if your past relationships were filled with a bunch of emotional highs and lows, then your nervous system may associate chaos for a true connection. And then when true peace shows up, your brain tends to misinterpret peace for lack of excitement and boredom. Hear me on this. Only toxic relationships create emotional highs and lows. Let me explain. The operative word there is creates. See, in any relationship, there's always going to be external factors that can try to penetrate and contribute to the emotional instability of the relationship, try to chip away at the foundation of the relationship. Personally, I've been married for 30 years now, going on year 31, happy, healthy marriage to my wife. Now, from the onset, There was always external situations that would try to penetrate, that would try to cause our relationship to be filled with more emotional highs and lows than stability. But we were taught how to manage our emotions and the correct perspective to view one another in, so that when external things come, they cannot penetrate our relationship. And so in a toxic relationship, the difference is this: the factors, the forces, the impulses that are causing the emotional highs and lows are not external. They're brewing from the storm that is within you. They're brewing from the storm, the winds that are blowing within your partner. So in toxic relationships, there is the creation of those emotional highs and lows. Now, this is why you experience in the beginning of the relationship, there's such pleasure. There's so much fun connection. There's intense connection. There's the feeling of stability. But because there is unresolved hurt, unresolved attachment patterns that are within us, you start experiencing that push-pull cycle. Whether you're the anxious partner or the avoidant partner, you start experiencing that. And no matter which side of that push-pull pendulum you're on, you are always in the mode of seeking relief. If you're the anxious partner, you'll notice that any distance that you feel, you'll want to pursue even harder, because after all, that distance to you causes you to suffer. That space causes you to worry. Likewise, for the avoidant partner, when the connection is so strong and it's so close and it begins to cross the line to being emotionally intimate, emotional sharing. If you're the avoidant partner, it's time for you to exit stage right, because you interpret that emotional closeness as pressure. And if you would like to learn more about the push-pull dynamic, that anxious avoidant trap, you can watch this video right here, and it will tell you everything you need to know about that trap so that you can begin to find and navigate your way out of it with help. You see, it's never easy when you're caught in this cycle, but please hear me. There is a way out once you know what you're looking at and what you're experiencing. Because when your partner pulls away from you, you feel it. You experience that. You experience a type of loss emotionally, and that causes you to want to pursue even harder. And eventually they return to you, and you feel that sense of relief, because after all, the relief that comes from their presence and the relief that comes from that temporary connection feels so much better than the stress that you experience when there's distance. So you have a constant cycle, a seesaw experience of cortisol and dopamine. Cortisol when they're distant, when you're stressed, dopamine when they return. And that cycle continues on and on and on, and your brain gets used to that. And when your brain is used to that type of dynamic, it's going to normalize it. And anything that's stable and steady, it may either ignore, reject, push away, or feel like it's boring or lack excitement. And that's living life in an emotional reward loop. In relationships, emotional reward loops are self-reinforcing cycles where partners' interactions trigger neurochemical responses, such as dopamine and oxytocin, that either strengthen a healthy bond or will lock a couple into a destructive pattern. The emotional reward loop can be driven by the desire for relief from that distress that you're craving, relief from the craving for validation, or a biological addiction to the highs experienced in the relationship. That push-pull cycle or that emotional reward loop that you're living in, man, it takes your emotions all over the place. And some people call that, you may even call that excitement. You may call it spontaneity. You may call it the excitement that comes from never knowing which way the relationship is going to turn. But I need to tell you, that is not the sign of a healthy relationship that will last. What I need you to know and believe today is that healthy love feels different. There are many more, but I want to start by sharing 3 ways to recognize healthy love. Number 1, predictability. Healthy love is predictable in this way. You know exactly where you stand. There's no guessing. There's no guessing games. Healthy love removes the game. Many of you probably believe the lie that relationships are often like a cat and mouse game. But just listen to that. Just think about that. Cats and mice, they cannot cohabitate. Cats and mice, one of them are the predator, the other one is normally the prey. There is no games in healthy love. It is predictability where you know what to expect. And I'll get into what to expect in a minute. Number 2, emotional safety. There is no need to chase reassurance. Oh my. You don't have to run after your partner for reassurance because there is a mutual commitment to reassuring one another. It comes with the package of this true love that I'm talking about. Number 3, stability. In a healthy relationship, emotional connection does not depend on dopamine highs and cortisol lows. It does not rely on that push-pull dynamic or the emotional reward loop that causes intensity, causes sparks to fly. No, this stability is caused by a true regard for one another. It's deeper than an infatuation. It's deeper than what we call love. That is usually nothing more than an emotional trauma bond. And you can learn more about this true love by reading the book I wrote, Single with a Goal, Relationship Readiness. Listen, in it, I dive deep. I do a deep dive into what true love looks like. And, with all due respect to Tina Turner, she's a generational talent, but her song has swayed the minds of a generation of people thinking that love is nothing more than a secondhand emotion. Well, when you read this book, you're going to learn that love is not even an emotion. Love is a command. It's an act of the will. It's not a feeling. And that's where we get it twisted most. If you want to understand true love and what true love looks like, well, you need to look no further than 1 Corinthians chapter 13 in the Bible. Here you get a clear picture that love is not an emotion. It's not a feeling. It's not something that goes up and down. True love does not waver. True love is a command. And because we are living a life that is in obedience to God first, then we're going to obey his definition of true love. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not easily angered. Love keeps no records of wrongs. None of these qualities describe emotional chaos, the emotional drama and chaos that we call love. Oh, it's intense love. Guess what? None of these qualities are even considered emotions. They are all choices. And you truly know that you love someone genuinely when you make the choice to be kind when kindness is not deserved, when you make the choice to be patient when patience feels hard, when you make the choice to put aside anger where justifiably there may be a cause for anger. On other videos, I talk more about it in more in-depth detail, but let me just run it down to you. This is what true love looks like. It keeps no record of wrongs. Real love protects. Real love trusts. Real love hopes for the best for the person. Real love preserves the person. Healthy love creates safety. And when you apply these characteristics, these qualities, if you can find these characteristics in your heart towards a person, then I believe you love them. But to build your relationship on emotions is like building your house on sand, on shifting sand that's not stable. And when the winds of life blow, and believe me, in relationships, they will blow, your relationship house will come tumbling down. So please remember, real love does not create emotional chaos. So back to the reason why you're watching this video. When there's no emotional chaos, you can't call that sense of peace boring. You can't call the absence of chaos and drama boring. That is called stability. And I believe that if you redefine the meaning of the things you experience in your life, you will see results in your relationships that you desire. I'm not telling you this from theory. I'm telling you what I live and have been living for over 30 years, and what my mentors have been living for 40 years and more. These are family success solutions. These are solutions that are going to help you to have a healthy family by way of healthy relationships. So please understand this. It's all about conditioning, guys. See, calm feels boring to many of you. Peaceful feels boring and dull to many of you because your nervous system was trained and conditioned by chaos and drama. If chaos and drama are the trainers of your nervous system, then your brain learns to expect drama. And it's a shock when drama is absent and does not show up for class. So hear me. Peace and calm, healthy love does not mean something is missing. It means stability and potential for longevity in the future. So hear me, y'all. You're not broken. You're not damaged goods. You were simply conditioned. You were simply patterned. Throughout your life and your relationships, even growing up as a small child, you were conditioned. You got in very good shape to have unhealthy relationships. The blessing in this is that once the pattern is recognized, it can be healed. Every pattern can be healed. You're not too hard for God. I wasn't too hard for God. My upbringing was not the greatest as it has to do with relationship. Personal as well as my family relationship. Parents divorced when I was only 2 years old. I don't know what it's like to have relationship stability in the home. But when I was taught how to recognize these patterns, then I was able to be trained to heal them. And that's the same thing that I'm doing for you. And that's exactly why I wrote The Silent Saboteur. See, as long as your enemies are kept secret, as long as they are able to camouflage themselves and be incognito, you will suffer. But the moment light is shed on them, they begin to lose power. So while you are watching this video and while you're watching videos on this channel, you are shedding light. Light is being shed on the very generational enemies of your family past, your ancestors, your upbringing, your personal relationships. Those enemies that meant for the destruction of your relationship life are being exposed. And when they're exposed, they lose power. And as you become self-aware, you now can take the driver's seat. You now can be healed so that your future relationships can be healthy and your family can be healthy. Future generations are healthy. See, that's a healthy cycle. That's what we're creating here. So I want you to get the guide, The Silent Saboteur. It was written just for you, and you can access it in the description below. I want to thank you for staying to the end of this video. Listen, I know that healthy families is the solution to a healthy culture, a healthy society, healthy world. Guys, we got a job to do. It starts with us. It starts with our relationships. Healing our relationships heals our families, guys. Heals how we treat one another and interact with one another. And so if you want to join us on this journey with being the solution for family health, then I invite you to subscribe. Please give a thumbs up to this video so that it can be presented to many, 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 many more people who have a heart for healthy families. You have a part to play. We all have a part to play. Make sure that you share it with someone that can be blessed by it. You are the solution. And listen, If you would like to learn more about the anxious avoidant trap push-pull cycle that I talked about, check this video out right here. And if you would like some more relationship videos where you learn about some of the myths that we've been told about relationships, check out this playlist right here. I know that you'll love it. You'll be impacted by it. Thank you so much for joining me. So I speak over you. Be healed, be whole, and you be the solution. I'll see you on the next one.